Hey everybody, it's Jane Gay, host of the Pursuing Excellence podcast here. Just want to take a minute and say, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many different platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Everybody, welcome to Time Out with Jaden. Second episode here of the podcast. And today I've got Coach Callie James of Eagles Landing Christian Academy, defensive line coach. He attended Tuskegee University. Thanks for joining us, Coach. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. No problem. So, Coach, tell me, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself so we get to know, like what?
Man, man. I'm a high energy Christ servant, man. Not perfect by far, but I just like to get after each and every day, man. And I just truly believe my serving is D-line ministry, man. I really love coaching D-line, and I love doing it for Christ. Not just coaching D-line just to coach it because I played it, but coaching it because God has called me to coach it and coaching it for Christ. So, like I said, man, I'm just a high energy Christ servant.
Yes, sir. I completely understand. So, Coach, why do you think God called you into coaching? I know you played at college, but
I know God called me into coaching because it's unbelievable how He did it. Because when I started in Tuskegee, and my dream was to always play in the NFL. Everybody wants to play in the NFL, and everybody wants to go to the league and do all this, but my height and my size, man, I'm an expert in motivation, man. God has truly blessed me with a motivational gift, man. And I channeled that and understood and felt it, man. Sometimes in the spirit, man, you just felt it, and I know, hey, I'm gonna be, a D-line coach, and it's just a Christ thing, man. It's really unexplainable, man. It's just I know God called me to D-line ministry, and I'm gonna keep chopping wood each and every day, and wherever He needs me, I want to dominate and make sure my group don't be outworked, and that's just truly why God has called me, so I can perform my motivational purpose that He has inside of me. So I never made it playing in the league, but Lord's willing, one day I want to coach D-line in the league. You know what I mean? So, because there's no eye test or no size on coaching.
Right.
You can be any size, and you can do anything with that nature. So, it's just truly a blessing to know your purpose while you're on earth, man, and what God has called you to do, and just keep trying to chop wood at it each and every day. So I thank God that I know my purpose through countless confirmations and countless signs, and I'm not gonna think twice about it. I know what it is, and I have a gift for it. So I'm just gonna keep chopping wood, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Coach, tell me what brought you to Eagles Landing Christian Elka? What brought you over there?
Man,
to coach?
Around the bush, man. Like I said, another Christ thing, man. Another God thing, man. I didn't even imagine this, man. Like I had some other stuff lined up at first, and COVID came or whatever, man. And God had a ram in the bush that coached somewhere else. And Coach Pickering, matter of fact, he's at Stockbridge High School. He knew Coach Guess, and a ram in the bush. And also Coach Pickering knew my defense coordinator, Joseph Carter, at who's at Tuskegee now. He's at Edward Waters, and him and Coach Carter was real cool, man. And I love Coach Carter, and me and Coach Carter ended up bonding a relationship. So I guess Coach Carter always told him about me, and so nevertheless, man, it was time. Like I had to get on my feet, and I knew I needed to coach because it's my ministry. So I called Coach Pickering one day, man. I was like, hey, man, being a humble servant, can I come and assist you? Because he was helping out with the D-line at Stockbridge. And he was like, wait, give me a second. And called me right back. And then next thing you know, I'm on the phone with Coach Gary, and that's how I got the Elka, man. So a ram in the bush, man. God always have a ram in the bush for where he wants you to go, So that's how I got the Elka, man. And I'm thankful for that.
Oh yeah, of course. It was a pleasure to play under you this year, Coach. And also, I wanted to ask if you could tell the people here a rundown, basically this. How did your first year at Elka go? Well, if you had to just sum it up, your first year coaching defensive line at Elka, how would you sum that up?
Man, it's really, man. When it's meant for you, man, it's truly you just gotta walk in it, man. Although it was my first year coaching defensive line, man, it felt like I've been doing it forever, man. It's a gift, man. I can't even explain it, bro. If I had a word for it, I'd say remarkable, man. It was remarkable, man. I can't really explain it, man. God put me right there like I've been there forever, man. Like I've been coaching for 40 plus years, man. Like it was, the ins and outs, the knowledge and the language God gave me, the energy He gave me, the motivation He gave me. While I was coaching and how I did it, and everything was led by Him, man. So I really, it's remarkable, man. It was great. We did well. I was able to coach some great guys in Kyrie Spence, Colt Hardiman, Samuel Allred, Michael Clark, and several other guys, man. Several other guys that we was able to coach. And although we didn't get to sack Brock Vandegrift in the third round, we did great, man. We came up with about 30 plus sacks this year.
That's great. I didn't even know that. That's wow.
I know Tyrese had like 16, Colt had 11, and Mike had a couple. And although 25 plus at least. So, man, that's big time, but we just got to keep chopping wood, man, and I got to keep having to grow, learning, and we just going to keep working, man,
Yes, sir. So, Coach, if you could take one thing you learned from this past season and going into next season, what would you say you learned that you can do better at moving forward as a coach and as a leader out there on the field with these guys?
I say I can do better trying to find a way to get my guys to make more plays, in the run game, and using the body and using it and trying to find that twitch or whatever that my guys have that God bless them with. Like, for example, one of my guys, like this year coming back, Colton Hardy, still trying to figure out a way, like, he's a great player. How can we use him to slant on the run and not, for you won't have to take on the double. And the part of being a defensive line, you have to defend the double team, but it's ways you can work towards the gaps that you have. And my biggest thing is figuring out ways that my guys can be dominant. You get what I'm saying? And still do their job for the team. So that's my biggest thing in the offseason, figuring out ways that my guys can, and finding out more drills and more things I can help my guys with to be explosive at what at what they do. So my biggest takeaway is just continue to find ways that my guys can make more plays.
Right, of course, because that's what defensive line is about. It's where they're relentless, getting after. Not only just to get after the quarterback, but just to be, dominance. Like you said, dominance. That's the people don't understand, Coach. In the trenches, you can speak on this. If I'm right. The trenches is where the game is won. Am I correct?
Right. Inside out, man.
Yes. So
inside out.
And so
football team should be built Inside out, man. Look at Alabama, man.
Yeah. So, like I said, dominance. Coach, let me ask you: would you possibly like to be a head coach one day, or would you just want to stick with defensive line?
Man, if God, listen, one thing about me, man, when God tells me to do something, I do it, man. So I can say my leadership, man, I always been like when I played ball, man, I always been a captain. Yeah. I always been a leader. So being a head and in an organization or on a team, I mean, I would love to do that, but right now I'm not called to do that.
Right.
So I'm called for D-line ministry, and if one day God calls me to do that, I'll be ready. One thing we can control that's not in the supernatural is consistency, and anything God allows me to do, I try my best to be consistent at it. So whatever He called me to do, man, I'm gonna chop wood at it. So one day He say didn't do that, I'm gonna learn and try to do whatever I can to be make sure my unit don't be outworked and we're good at what we do. So like I said, right now definitely no, because God hasn't called me to that. Like I don't move for me, I move for Christ. Christ called me to Alpha, so that's why I'm here. So coaching D-line, I don't want to coach nothing else but D-line. So if God called me to a head coaching job, then I have to do it, and I have to adjust accordingly.
That's Coach. That's awesome. And last thing I want, second last thing I want to ask you is, so what is your goal for the 2021 through 2022 season for just for you guys at Oka this year or this upcoming season?
Well, as a unit, man, of course we want to win the state championship. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
First of all, just take it, one day at a time, man. Chop the wood, one game at a time, one day at a time, and just getting after it, man. Doing the extra. Coach Betts always speaks extraordinary, man. Doing extra and then a have-not, so just doing that each and every day, man, and seeing where that take us, speaking for the D-line per se, man, I can say, I want us to be more dominant. We did okay, but I want us to be the best group out there, man. The best group to outwork and the best group to lead. Some always, like Coach Tyler, defense coordinator, say great things happen when D-line run to the ball. So the biggest thing is being in shape to run to the ball. So, just biggest thing for 2021 and 2021 season is being consistent in our approach every day. And I feel like that can take us to, doing something big at Elka as they already have before I even got there. So.
Of course. Yeah, Coach, definitely. And then I have another question. This actually isn't football related, but Coach, I wanted to get your, our country is going through this crazy times right now. Everything, with COVID, and then, you got other things going on, within our national government, things like that. But I just wanted to ask you, Coach, how are you just moving along through this process? How is God pulling you through this right now, every day? What's keeping you just getting up every day and to keep moving along? What's motivating you to do that?
Well, first and foremost, man, I know way before COVID came, God gave me a plan. And I feel like it's selfish, man, to stop the plan because of a virus. I'm sold out for Christ, man. And being sold out for Christ as a servant, you're not going to be perfect. And I'm far from perfect, man. I don't, Jada, I don't come off to try to be perfect, but I'm a freaking servant, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I'm a servant. I'm a servant, man. So as a servant, when it first came out, I was pissed off, man, because I'm just like, man, like, because I had things planned a lot. I had things. God had me a help. I had things that I thought was going to open up. And I felt like COVID. And then I said, wait, I'm giving COVID too much attention, and Christ is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Because you have people that catch COVID and beat. So that don't make COVID undefeated. But Christ ain't never beat Christ, man.
That's right.
Christ is always undefeated. So Christ keep me going in the morning, man. It keep my mind going. It keep me protected. It keep me covered, man. I don't, when we're working out, I'm free. I know God has me. I know I'm protected. I know that I'm good, man. And I just thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in advance, Jaden, for giving me protection in everyday walk, giving me my motivation, giving me my swag, giving me just everything about myself to keep pushing during these times. But at first, was it shaky? Yes, it was, because you got to understand, as a senior leaving Tuskegee May 9th, I didn't even get to walk or all those things. And, just trying to find ways to be upset. I was that guy. But, man, when I sat back and understood that nothing on this earth happens unless God wanted to.
That's right.
So what I started doing was, remember, I'm on this earth for an audience of one person, and that's God, man. So I started getting up every day pleasing God. Now I don't know, man. I wear my mask and I do everything because I go see the elderly all the time. I love the elderly, man. One of my mentors' name is Charlie Morris, man, and I love him to death. He's 86 years old, so I take my mask and I'm very precautious. But I just don't think I don't think Christ would be excited for me to just sit down in a house and I'm not sick. I don't think God, and I have all this purpose and all this motivation and all this energy inside of me. I don't truly believe that my God will be excited and happy of me. And I know I'm already a sinner. So that something has to give, man. I just truly believe I'm gonna go out into the world, and God gives us wisdom. So the government wants to wear a mask in public, so I wear a mask. But I'm gonna keep chopping wood, man. And that's why when you come outside, JD, you see me at the D-line, the school, and we chopping wood, man, because I won't sit down and I gotta please God, man. I don't want to please nobody but God, Jaden, and that's just how I am. I don't want to, I've never been a guy that needed applause or anything from somebody else, and I've never been that guy. So I've been a guy that always been the audience of one person, and that one person has been Christ. So Christ has been pushing me and motivating me and tapping me on my back and giving me that drive to keep chopping in spite of. So it's a thing I have, man, in my messages I send out Monday through Friday. I say Christ, then I have it's greater than COVID.
Yes.
And so, man, I just try my best to, we stay safe, man, but we keep chopping, man. We have to keep going, and we have to keep working. And I pray with the vaccine and stuff, man, that this stuff slow down, man, because it is challenging right now, and people have lost their lives and things of that nature, man. And I pray for those families, but I just truly believe, man, when you're sold out for Christ, you have a different perspective of things. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Of course. And like you said, Coach, keep chopping. That's something, I learned Coach, when I first came to Eagles Landing Christian, I was, I wasn't anything. I was a little freshman. I didn't, and I didn't, be honest, you look at me then, look at me now, you didn't think I would ever get here to where I look like right now. But I just, like you said, kept chopping wood, kept working. Yes, Coach Guess will tell you the same thing. But, just kept working. Like you said, I never had that mindset. I'm just going to keep getting better and better and better and better every day, no matter what, and keep working. Like you said, I can't sit still either. I have to move. I have to do what God has called me to do. So, that being said, like you said, every day just chop wood. But Coach, I appreciate you coming on this podcast with me today. I really do. Thank you for carving out time for it for me and everybody listening today. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. It was a pleasure coaching you on the offensive line. But when you was on the offensive line, man, one of the hardest working guys that I have coached and seen. It's my first year, but you was a tough guy, man. Hard work guy, man. No problem, man. It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir, Coach. Well, you have a great day, and continue to stay safe. And I'll see you soon, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay, buddy. All right, baby.
All right. All right, everybody. That was Coach Callie James, defensive line coach at Eagles Landing Christian. Pleasure having him on the show today. He's a great guy, high energy guy. And he's always just chopping wood, getting to work every day. And that's what we got to do. That's what God calls us to do, get up to go to work every day, no matter what. So thank you guys for listening today. It's been Time Out with Jaden, episode 2. I will see you guys next week. Appreciate it.